This National Master Plan of Decarbonization and the other part of logistic infrastructure, electric mobility adoption is going to remain with you for a long period of time. How different it is going to be from those other countries. India has a different intent to achieve through Viksit Bharat. You have to create a different content to serve that purpose, and then both of us, the current generation and the next generation, decides the extent, that to what extent it will reach, where you are going to stop, where you are going to reach on 2047, which is going to be your 100 year. In Hindi, it is called, the intent is connected with Prakriti. Prakriti means what kind of business community you have been. Historically, economically, behaviorally, socially, ethically, legally, contractually, from the funding to perspective, everything comes in the Prakriti intent. And the next content is the Pravritti. Pravritti is particularly the way a person reacts into a train and the same person reacts into a metro is different, right? You may bring Vande Bharat, tomorrow you may bring bullet train from Japan. But Pravritti, behavior, is what there are people who are throwing stones on Vande Bharat. Type of behavior you're going to have is going to decide the Pravritti, that's the content. And here I am going to summarize the extent. Because in extent, I am a part, you are a participant. Every person, whether he is a businessman or he is not a businessman, has a role to play in Viksit Bharat. 10 years before, the world was talking to us and saying that India is on a terminal decline. You have become a fragile 5 economy and you are going to become somebody. आप तो खुद तो डूबेंगे, अपने साथ साथ अपने investors को भी डुबाएंगे. And that is 2013 का India. From 2013 to 2023, what has changed? I have quoted 2023 deliberately, not 24, is because in 2023 you get G20. And in G20, the world is standing behind your Prime Minister, behind your name Bharat, and saying, वही दुनिया जो आपसे कहती थी कि तुमसे ना हो पाएगा, वो आज कह रही है कि अगर होगा तो सिर्फ आपसे, आप ही कर पाएंगे. Decarbonization of a large economy. How are you going to digitize your economic power? How are you going to be geospecialization? How are you going to take care of a lot of issues which we have because of we are a very, very large country and we have a diverse amount of diversification which we need to bring together. To give you a context, I want to give you a jolt. COP26, 27, 28 and COP29. The world was looking at COP26, that by 28 or 29 COP, this meeting of Conference of Parties, which started with Paris Glasgow Agreement and then further, would deliver a solution to the world that how to decarbonize a large economy like India, China, America, Canada. What happened? It turned out to be a global disappointment. Every country of Asian region refused to sign to COP29 offers, including India. We also refused, did not sign. So at this stage of time, the world is looking at you that if some economy can give the way to decarbonization of a large size solution is India or it could be China. एक ऐसा भारत जो आपको विरासत भी दे सके, साथ साथ विकास भी दे सके, जो आपको प्रकृति भी दे सके और साथ साथ समृद्धि भी दे सके. Today, where you are standing, you have recently pushed Brazil, Russia, Italy, France and UK to become 5th largest economy. I'm not counting the 4th one, the recent development. To become 5th largest economy, you have pushed two of your countries, two of your colonizers, if I use the right word, UK and France. UK around more than 200 years, 150 on the record, and France is around 125 years, has colonized you. आपके ऊपर शासन किया है 150 साल, 200 साल, और आज वो आपसे छोटी इकोनॉमी. World is now shaken that where India is going, what it is going to bring next. In the list of 195 countries में हम आज अमेरिका, चाइना और जर्मनी के पीछे खड़े हैं. चौथी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था है, जापान को रिसेंटली पीछे कर दिया. The mantra on which I work is not definitely a capable connotation or inception that we will be able to develop. It definitely comes from our Honorable Prime Minister, and he says reform, perform, transform. And to reform, perform and transform, you have to be working in that sync of design that where you have to reach. 2014 से 2019, this was the tenure when India went through massive reforms. Land acquisition for highways to a different way of presenting each and every state as a destination for manufacturing, as a destination for investment. All bureaucracy aside, 1500 plus laws were removed. This all happened in the reform session where there is no result. आपको हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं मिला. 2019 to 2024, the second term, it speaks about perform. Here you started working. Here some Vande Bharat started becoming visible, and then UPI started picking up, creating knock to the visa. Okay, boss, your time is over. Now it's UPI. I am more in terms of transaction per day. I am more in terms of volume. So not only UPI, but also Indian Railway. Indian Railway has a massive amount of contracts out of India in this perform segment. But this segment which you are living right now, 2024 to 2029, is the third segment of reform, perform and transform. Majority of transformation is being visible now. Tracks to highways, numbers to electric mobility. Patience that you had spent is now turning you back. So when we say Viksit Bharat, when we talk about it, then it has to translate to your pocket, right? उसके बिना विकसित भारत का क्या मतलब? This year, first budget of 2025 actually pushed you out of the tax bracket even if you earn 12 lakh rupees. It has never happened. Two ambitions which are related to you, are partner, are the core of this Viksit Bharat design. Number one is decarbonization of surface transport, which has to result into 30% reduction of your oil import bill. If we miss it, we will not reach it. Second is reduction of your logistic spend from 14% to 9% for the global companies. This again brings a lot of electric mobility in between. लेकिन electric mobility के साथ एक खास बात है. हम कहते तो हैं ये सस्ती है डीजल से, लेकिन जब इंस्टॉल करने जाते हैं, लगाने जाते हैं, अडॉप्ट करने जाते हैं तो पसीने बह जाते हैं. सब्सिडी चाहिए, टैक्स ब्रैकेट चाहिए, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गवर्नमेंट बना के दे, सब कुछ बना बनाया रहे, देन वी विल बी एबल टू डिलीवर दैट सस्ता वाला डीजल से कम का पर किलोमीटर इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी. दिस हैज टू सर्व द पर्पस ऑफ रिडक्शन ऑफ कंप्लीट ओवरऑल 14% नेशनल लॉजिस्टिक कॉस्ट to 9%. And it will only be possible if more adoption, cleaner version of mobility can be produced. Already इस तरह की टेक्नोलॉजीज को लाने के लिए हाइड्रोजन कार हो, इलेक्ट्रिक कार हो, मेगावाट चार्जिंग हो, वायरलेस चार्जिंग हो, इन सब को लाने के लिए काफी हद तक आप लोग एडॉप्शन पे डिपेंड होते हैं, आप लोग ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस पे डिपेंड होते हैं, आप लोग सर्टिफिकेशन के ऊपर डिपेंड होते हैं. You are already living into a conversation of into a decade which is 2020 to 2030. इस 2020 to 2030 के डेकेड को आपको इंडिया की सेंचुरी बनाना. इट इज गोइंग टू बी इंडिया सेंचुरी. 100% इट इज गोइंग टू बी इंडिया सेंचुरी. 2014 में 13 में जो हो रहा था, उस वक्त 2G, 3G, 4G, जीजाजी इतने सारे घोटाले हो रहे थे. इट डज नॉट एड टू द सिचुएशन दैट वी विल बी एबल टू पिक अप समवेयर. सो लेट मी गिव यू 3 different economics of where we are heading to now in terms of numbers. 1947 to 1965, India was an agriculture. 1965 to 85, it became an industrial and manufacturing based economy. 1985 to 2000, you become a computer generation. And 2000 to 2022, you have become digital and global, a thriving economy. If you look at India from my glasses, then I would say मुझे 1 ट्रिलियन बनाने में 65 years लगे. दूसरा ट्रिलियन बनाने में मुझे 8 साल लगे. Third trillion I took 5 years. Fourth trillion I took 3 years. And fifth trillion I'm going to make in less than 2 years. How I look at it, that where as an economy we are growing. And the next generation, they are going to look at it in a different mode. And they are going to look at it in the purchasing power economy. और बहुत simple सी calculation है. Today, any child who has taken birth after 2020 year will in his her lifetime spend somewhere around $2,40,000 वो खर्च करता है. ये उसकी परचेसिंग पावर. 2047 विकसित भारत एंड ईयर, your population is going to be 168 crore people. Just multiply both of this. You will get a purchasing power economy of around 35 to 38 trillion dollar, and this is what everybody is saying. Ernest Young is saying 30 trillion dollar. BCG is saying 35 trillion dollar. My immediate mentor Amitabh Kant has also recently calculated it to be 30 trillion dollar, and a mentor for all of us who has given this vision that go and attempt each and everything which you have not done in last 70 years. Our Prime Minister, he has not given us any number. He has left it on us. That you decide, you work on it, all of you participate in it, and I have full faith that आप सबके प्रयास भारत को आत्मनिर्भर बनाए और भारत को विकसित भी बनाएंगे. Between these 2020 and 2022, something has happened. Meet a lot of people who are from Western exposure, and they will tell you that you will not be able to become France or Germany or somebody like that. And now, in between these 2 years, from 2014 to 2022, ये term के बीच में, one big decision has happened from all of you. You picked up somebody from Gujarat and you made him Prime Minister. He did not only given you the vision of how you will be able to reach to Viksit Bharat, but he's worked for 2 steps. And when he's working for 2 steps, you will be able to conclude and you will be able to see कि आप जिसका सपना देख रहे हैं वो पहले हुआ है क्या हिस्ट्री में कभी? India is now in exactly same time frame, same historical window where Japan was between 1970 to 1995. Your per capita income is $2,200 to $2,400 now in India. Japan was at $2,100 in 1970. Can you imagine they grown by 1995 to $44,000 per capita income during that 25 years. And Japan's economy at that time was $215 billion, which reached to $5.1 trillion in 25 years, from 70 to 95. India is not incrementally increasing. It is doubling its economy, and it is going to be decided by forums like this, by industries like decarbonization and reduction of oil import, that how fast you will be able to double. Today we are $4.8 trillion officially. What I'm saying is not only projection, it's not assumption. This has happened in the last 12 years. Our Minister of Commerce has probably given the start point of doubling and the end point first doubling. So this is on the base of the real actual growth from last 10 years, which is saying $3.2 trillion will be doubled by 2032, $6.5 trillion. You are with me? From $6.5 trillion, 2038, you are becoming $13 trillion. And 2038 to 2044, you are going to become $26 trillion. And 2044 to 2050, you are going to become $52 trillion. You can double 3.2 to 6.5, 6.5 to 13, 13 to 26. This has happened in the world. This has a precedence. And when you are speaking about it, you must be knowing that how and what plan that government of India has to doing so. Fortunately, I am National Program Director of Supreme Business, but in additional charge of National Highway EV, I am being expected to develop an e-highway which is globally higher than what you call Germany success example or America's Tesla model. So globally we have 2 highways. देश में इस वक्त the stations which we are making under National Highway EV are called third generation energy stations, because first generation was a petrol pump, second generation was petrol pump plus CNG, LNG some places, and then single charger came. Now this third generation is not going to have petrol and diesel. This third generation has electric, CNG, LNG, hydrogen, flux fuel and fuel cells. It has a solar integration where it is translating on the floor, what we are doing on the ground. So one station is now changed into a spectrum to deliver 3200 kilowatt hour. And these 3200 kilowatt hour is divided into 800 kilowatt hour from grid, 800 kilowatt hour from solar, 800 kilowatt hour from wind. Wind means vertical turbine on the divider. And last 800 kilowatt hour is from hydrogen. These are third generation charging stations. 2025 to 27, we will be able to do 5,000 kilometer e-highway in India, entire Bharatmala and Sagarmala, with 226 charging stations crossing 26 cities and 14 states. It would be a complete turnaround of what you have as a map. That is why we call this Bharatmala and Sagarmala. From 2030 to 2035, nationwide deployment will convert from 3G station to include the solar and RE integration. Solar is 800 kilowatt hour and the other one, it is wind. Wind has not even prototyped in India. We are prototyping it from not the windmill but the vertical turbine on the divider, which works from the vehicle crossing and then moving the turbine. 2035 to 40, all these 3G charging stations are going to become 5G charging stations. 5G means two things, only two things. 3200 kilowatt hours से 5500 kilowatt hour की dispensing capability आ जाएगी with mega charges. और thermal grid will be completely out of the question. It will be complete green. It will be on solar, wind and hydrogen will play a very important role, not to only fill in the vehicle, but also to charge and run the station if there are no grid connectivity. And the last is 2040 to 2047. These all stations will be able to give you a wireless connectivity where you can reduce the size of the battery to only 50 to 100 kilometers required. Right now you have a huge battery, a lot of issues starts because of that, and that will reduce because you will have a wireless strap which is charging your vehicle continuously. And with a small battery you can run on the road. When you discharge, you can come on the charging rack. Then you can again switch over. This is to be achieved by 2047. We'll be able to become third generation charging station.